Returning to an old dangerous practice of live streaming while driving, Chille DeCastro spent part of Christmas Eve endangering the lives of others while expressing his thanks to his supporters with words of hope as they continue to live in the land of the free and home of the slaves. The year has turned out to be one of the worst ones for DeCastro, though it started out so brightly. At the start of the year, DeCastro was riding high with victory after victory. He was able to drag out both of his court cases at will and without effort. His fundraising efforts were phenomenal, to the point that he had set up at least 2 GoFundMe campaigns devoted to helping other auditors, and the Ides of March came and took everything away. DeCastro's conviction of obstruction brought everything to an end. He got lippy with the judge and was sentenced to immediately go to jail. While he would eventually win on a questionable appeal, he served almost his complete sentence before that happened in jail left him changed. While in the movies those who are wrongly convicted go to jail and find themselves, lose weight, embrace the teachings of Ayn Rand and get their lives in order to come back and smite their enemies, DeCastro came back broken in every aspect of his personality. He was fat. His hair had gone white as he approached his 50th birthday. He was meek and silent, though flashes would come through time to time of his old spirit. He eventually would develop worrying characteristics in his speech as he would be animated and normal during daylight hours, then slow and rambling at night, to the point where he would need to be played at 2x speed in YouTube videos to match his vigor. DeCastro embraced a new concept of producing a Constitution-themed board game, instead of teaching the Constitution in a series of forever delayed courses. He claimed that he had a vision that he'd set the world on fire with sales. He simply ignored the research that says that a board game takes up to a decade to develop, let alone get into big box stores, and the market for board games, let alone based on the Constitution, is non-existent. DeCastro also went after petty vengeance. He wasn't invited to a gathering of East Coast-based auditors who were assembling on behalf of Leonard Leroy Truth Filipowski over the summer. He didn't even find out about the event until after it had started, attempting and failing to counter-program at the last minute to pretend to be part of the event. He was already steaming as most of his fellow auditors rejected his idea that would put DeCastro as the leader of all First Amendment auditors and would have to pay dues to him, and now it was revealed that he had taken the idea one step further. Around the same time, it was revealed that he had applied for the trademark to both First Amendment Auditor and 1st Amendment Auditor for use in merchandise. That's right, if they weren't going to join him, he'd take away their ability to call themselves First Amendment auditors. The trademark is in doubt as the year ends, and again, most auditors simply rebranded to the tag of independent journalist over the past 2 years. However, it led to one of the more hilarious DeCastro failures of the year as he decided to ditch his DeleteLawZ branding and focus solely on his new First Amendment Auditor YouTube channel. At press time, that channel seems to be frozen with 417 subscribers and 5 videos. The same levels it's been at for weeks. His decision to leave YouTube for Patreon then failed, drawing under 10 paying subscribers a peak, before he gave up on it completely. Refocusing on Twitter also failed, as he quickly abandoned the jump after discovering that making any money off of Twitter required actual work and almost 100,000 times his average of 41 views on his latest videos from paid Twitter accounts. His rebrand to an independently run TeamDeleteLawZ.com website gathered less than 100 paid customers and hasn't turned into the financial and windfall and new social media powerhouse he had hoped. His whole adult material YouTube bombing, which took his main channel down briefly near the end of the year, may have been his salvation and his curse. There's great debate as to his involvement in the bomb, with equal parts of observers claiming that he was an innocent victim of the situation and those who said that he staged the incident in a failed attempt to support his rebrand to his First Amendment Auditor channel. He only abandoned the idea of giving up his main channel when he found out that his supposed 625,000 viewers to that channel either weren't real or weren't willing to start over with him. In other words, he was going to lose the between $4,000 and $7,000 he makes in a month by giving up his main channel's revenue stream, and he quickly found YouTube as Jesus. Observers noted that after the supposed bombing he no longer uses the threat of YouTube/China taking his channel down as an apocalyptic reason why his supporters need to follow his every move. After the bombing, he seemed to refocus. He started to ditch everything that didn't work. The rebranding, the moves to other platforms, the punishing of his enemies, eating himself into a sugar coma every night, all went by the wayside. While he's yet to ditch his boring version of auditing where he no longer angrily engages police officers, the very thing that drew people to his channel in the first place, and instead engages respectfully and is just another face in the crowd. He still does fire and brimstone anti-police videos, but no longer serves as a pitchman for his own products. The end result has been, well, bad. Floyd Mr. Passport Bro Wallace regularly outdraws DeCastro's live streams, as Floyd spiraling into LOL cow status is much more entertaining than anything that DeCastro can produce. Lane Meyer has taken over as resident First Amendment wildcard who people tune into. First Amendment Protection Agency is prettier and younger and gets all the chicks. As 2024 ends, DeCastro is again at a crossroads. We've seen him here before, we've seen him make all the wrong decisions, we've seen him turn victory into defeat time after time. With his looks fading, his hair now white, before dying, his body failing, his 625,000 subscribers being turned off in droves, does he have what it takes to rebound? We'll continue to report on his exploits in the new year. As far as Tuesday's livestream, DeCastro claimed that he didn't care when people made fun of his height, claiming and sticking to the statement that he was 5 feet 8 inches tall, despite direct evidence that he was 5 feet 5 inches tall at best. His hair could have made up that last 3 inches as it was combed straight up, which would have made him at least 6 feet 1 inch tall if he was the height he claimed. Again repeating an old lie, he claimed his van was almost self-driving, while he drove with his hands off the wheel and reading chat. This was what he claimed about his old van and had yet to claim about the new one. He promised that he'd buy himself a new Tesla in the next year and that he would be able to stream and drive fully with Tesla's self-driving capabilities. DeCastro said he was on his way to Walmart/China to pick up presents for children who were under 10 years old. He said that children that age don't care about the presents, they just care about opening big boxes with wrapping paper. Finally, he claimed that his dog Charlie was doing well, and was worth all the money he spent to keep Charlie alive.